Hello, good afternoon. I'm Laura. I'm an SVP educator here to talk about the Husqvarna Viking Amber Air S600. I know you were expecting Mickey. She is so sorry. She misses you. There was a scheduling conflict, so I hopped in at the last minute to help out. What I have for you today is a simple project. This table runner. You can find the project on the MySewNet Studio. It's very quick and easy. It's a great use of, maybe you have a piece of fabric that you just love, but you don't want to cut it up because it's really cute in a bigger pattern. This is a great use for that. And along the way, I am going to show you various accessory feet that you can use to jazz up the project a little bit if you want to. All right. So the Amber Air S600 is Husqvarna Viking's top-of-the-line air thread serger. Let me switch camera view. Here we go. These holes here are where you put your looper threads. You push this button and a pulse of air pushes it through the threading path. Let's take a look. First, I'm going to cut the threads that are already on it and remove the thread that's in it so you can see how easy it is. The first thing we do is choose the 3-thread rolled edge, which is stitch number 14. When we do that, we get this menu. These blocks here show us where to put our spools of thread. This has a this thread path has a dash in it, so no thread there. This has a dot, 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 dash. So thread path 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4. Those thread paths are which spool numbers we will put our threads on. So we're not threading yet. We're just setting our spools up there. The next thing we do is click menu 1 under there. This shows us the settings that we need to change. This particular stitch calls for us to use stitch table A, which is this here. This is removable. And you can see there's an A on it. As opposed to table B, see, these look very different. We'll set this aside for now. Stitch table A, it just slides on there and clicks into place. Okay, that's done. The cutter should be in position A, which is the up position. The cutter is right here. I'm pointing to it with my stylus. There is a knob. I don't think you can see it from this angle, but you can pull that knob out to rotate the cutter up or down. So we're going to have the cutter up. This is the 2-thread converter. It should be open. That is this little doohickey right here. Everyone asks what that is. That is a 2-thread converter for when you're only doing a very tiny 2-thread overlock. You would use 1 needle and the lower looper, and then you would close this. It moves. But most stitches has this in the open position. So that is good to go. That's easy peasy. All right. The next thing, I'm going to put this back how it should be. I was test stitching earlier. Okay. The stitch finger lever should be in position R. It offers us 2 positions, N and R, neutral or normal, and then rolled. That refers to this little white piece right here, and you can pull that back to move from N to R. This is presser foot pressure. That's this knob over here. There's a little indicator on it pointing to an N. It's almost always in N position, so you're fine. And then stitch mode A. That refers to this slider down here. You can put it in A or B, and we're going to be in A. Okay, now we are ready to close that menu. There's a couple more things to explain on this screen. This is just a preview of what the stitch looks like. This suggests that we should use a size 80 needle, and that needle should be in the B position. So let me zoom in here on the needles. See how close I can get it up a little far. Okay. It's a little hard to see. Let me see if I can shine a little more light on there. I don't know if this will work. There we go. Look, you can see my phone. Okay. Don't text me right now, okay? This is needle A, needle B, and it's etched on there. And needle C, D, and E. Again, it's etched on there. I'm not sure if you can quite see it. You might be able to see a little faint scratching, but there, now you can kind of see the relief. Okay. So we have needle B in position. Perfect. I am going to zoom out again and explain a little more things that the screen shows. We're going slowly. There we go. This here is the stitch width. There is a dial right here that you just turn with your hand to adjust the stitch width. This says 6.0. We're already there. It's good. This is your sewing advisor. Right now, this says that we have a stretch fabric. We're not using stretch fabric today. I'm going to change that to woven. Now look what happened. It changed the needle size. It had been size 80 and now it's size 90. And 90 is what I have in there. This is our sewing speed. This is our differential feed. You have two sets of feed dogs. Your front feed dogs here and your back feed dogs here. They move at the same time. Some stitches require the feed dogs to move at a different speed. So one can move faster than the other or slower than the other, depending on what your needs are. We'll get into that when we do gathering. And then this is your stitch length. It's automatically set for you. It's adjustable. And these are your tensions. They're automatically set for you. We're not going to mess with that right now. But now you know what it is. Okay, let's thread. We have the lower looper thread. I have some black thread here. Now, when we get ready to put the thread in the hole, you need to make sure to pull out quite a bit of thread, at least 12 inches. The reason is the puff of air is strong enough to push the thread through the thread path, but it is not strong enough to pull the thread off the spool. So that's why we pull out extra. One thing I forgot, and it's very, very important because it won't work if I don't do this. When we're ready to thread, this lever down here, not this one. This is the one we talked about before. This is a different one. This is serging mode, and this is threading mode. Let me see if I can zoom in a little. Can you maybe see that a little better? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, we are going to just slide this to the left. And now we are going to turn the hand wheel, and you will see the thread path here close. It'll make a pretty loud click. I'm going to turn the hand wheel towards me. There we go. Now you can see these closed lines, hopefully. Okay. Another important note when you're threading the serger, no liquid in these holes. So don't, if your thread is frayed at the end, just cut it off. Don't lick it. And don't put oil in here. No liquids. Because liquids have surface tension and that will make it impossible to thread. Okay, so I'm going to try and put about 2 inches of thread down in there. A little more, a little less. Either way, it's fine. And then, whoops, it wasn't enough. Or maybe it stuck to my finger. Okay. We are watching here for the thread to come out. You know what? I'm going to use a different color for a minute because you're not going to be able to see black. Let's try red. Brand new spool. I bought it for just for you folks. All right. Get some down in there. It doesn't want to go, so I'm going to trim a bit off. This one is a little staticky. Okay, I do not have enough thread pulled out. Let me pull some more. Okay, now we are watching right here. Still a little hard to see, but we've got our thread. That gets pulled to the back. And it goes, where's my tweezers? Here we go. Pull to the back. We want to put it under the foot so that when we make our chain, we'll have all of our threads there. Okay. Now I'm going to change back to black and show you a cool trick. You can actually, air threading is easy, but if you want, you can just tie your old thread to your new thread and pull it on through. Just by pulling on this, let's watch here to see, here comes the black. Do you see the color change? And then here comes the black. Perfect. This is bulky nylon. When you pull it, it's thin like regular thread, but when you give it slack, it puffs up a little bit. Let me see if I can get that closer to the camera. I don't know. Can you tell the difference? Here's regular. So here's regular thread, and here's bulky nylon. This is going to be really cute in a rolled hem. It fills in the gaps a little bit. And thankfully, this serger is amazing with its air thread. You can absolutely put this through. If it gives you too much trouble, you can tie a piece of regular thread on there and pull it through that way also. Let's see if I can get this to go. There we go. Ta-da! Away we go. Oh, we got caught on the needle. Let's pull a little extra out. Okay. We don't want any snags in our thread. And now we are ready for the needle. You learned this from the book, but you probably can't see from this angle, but there's 3 slots. We're going to choose the middle slot over here and choose the middle slot on the spring. And then we're going to choose the right slot for the needle guide. All right. I like to thread with my tweezers. I feel like I have a bit more control. Angle that thread just how I need it. It's easier to move the tweezers than my hand. Oh, I missed. There we go. Pull it on back, and again, tuck it under the foot. There we go. Now we're almost ready to make our chain. We are going to put it back in serging mode. Close the cover. Look, if you forget to put it back in serging mode, okay, now we're in threading mode. There is a stop. Let me zoom out a little bit. There's a little piece of plastic here on the cover, so you actually can't close it. It prevents you from making a boo-boo. Yay! Okay. Now we're going to get real close, and we are going to do a rolled hem. On this little piece of white fabric. Oh, did you catch what I did wrong? What did I forget? I forgot to make a chain. Press your foot down. There we go. That looks good. This foot is hinged. So once, okay, I'm going to raise the presser foot. You don't have to put the presser foot up and down every time. You can just use the hinge. This machine also comes with something called a knee lifter. Let me zoom out. There is there we go. There's a hole right here in the base. The knee lifter has a pole on it, and you slide that into that hole, and then you can use your leg, your knee or your thigh to raise and lower the presser foot, which is really cool, especially if you have something large and you don't want to let go of it. That doesn't look right without. If you have something large and you don't want to let go of it, you don't want to put your hand over here, then you can keep your hands on it and just move your knee and raise the presser foot as needed. All righty. Here we go. As it feeds through, it tucks the fabric under. It's beautiful. Black thread on white fabric, so hopefully you can see it pretty well. Let me come closer, come closer. I'm going to put another piece of white behind it so you can see it a little better. There we go. This is a beautiful rolled edge. There's so many things you can do with it. I like to make linen napkins. Reduce, reuse, recycle, right? So linen napkins with a simple rolled edge is very, very elegant. Okay. You can make, I've seen people make cupcake dresses. I saw one person, it was Karen Charles. You all know her. Karen put some wire into her rolled edge and made a pretty flower. You'll have to ask her about that. Don't tell her I said, haha, just kidding. All right, next. Okay, let me switch cameras for a second. So this project, this edge here is just rolled. You take a piece of fabric that's 16 inches wide times the width of the fabric. You do the rolled hem on this edge and on this edge. And then you do that all the way down. And then you serge, you fold it in half and serge with a regular 4-thread overlock the two edges together. This is the stitch this is the default stitch. This is one that everybody uses for everything. So you just stitch that together and then turn it inside out. It makes a point. So here is the back. And this is what the front looks like. It's just simple. You can put some double-sided fusible back here to get this so it lays nice and flat. But that's it. You're done. Serge the two edges, serge the ends, flip it out to make a corner, press it. You can tape it down with double-sided fusible if you want. And ta-da! It's great for directional prints or multi-directional prints. Either one works great. I made this to match my friend's dishes, so she'll get it after we're done with this. Simple, quick, easy. Let me switch. But what if you want to do a little more than that? Here is, you can make piping. This example is piping sewed into your fabric. Here's the inside. It's just a 4-thread overlock on the inside. So the first thing I'll do is show you how easy it is to make piping. You just need a strip of fabric, the length of your cloth, and then some thin cord. You can get this at your local craft store or your favorite online bulk discount place. Let's see, I need to change to the piping foot, which I have right here. The piping foot is really, really cool. There is a channel right here that the piping lays in. And so the machine guides the piping. Try and give you several. See how deep that channel is? I'm whispering, sorry. See how deep that channel is? Your piping fits right in there. It guides it. So let's put the piping foot on. Raise the presser foot. There is a little lever back here that you push and the foot kind of drops. And then you can raise the presser foot a little more. Angle it slides out. Slide this one in. I did it really quick when no one was looking. There we go. Wiggle it a little bit. Put that presser foot back down. This is not quite on. It's almost. There we go. I wiggled it. Or you can press this button again and it will sink down on there. So let's see. Can you see the shadow? Let me get, where's my stylus? Here we go. The shadow of the channel right there. Very cool. Now, I do believe we need to change to a 4-thread overlock. So let me zoom out. We will thread the machine again. So choose the stitch from the drop-down menu. 4-thread overlock, stitch number 3. The stitch you will use most often. Okay, now we are going to look at our placements here. We need thread path 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have more thread to put on there. We are going to switch out the bulky nylon. That will be kind of overkill for this stitch. You could leave it on there. It wouldn't hurt it at all. But bulky nylon costs more than regular serger thread, so we're going to be economical. I am going to cut all the threads. I know you can't see me cutting them, but there we are. There's the presser foot. Pull these out. Sewists have the prettiest scrap bags, don't you think? I've got all these colors in there. Okay, let's see if I can get this on here. Position 1. 2 is already up there. Position 3. Replace the bulky nylon with the regular serger thread, and 4 is already up there. Okay. Now we are going to check menu 1 to see if we need to change anything. We need stitch table A, already on there. Cutter in position A, already done. 2-thread converter open, already done. Stitch finger in normal. We need to move that. Very easy to do. Presser foot pressure in normal, already done. And stitch mode A, that's this down here, that's already done. Okay, close and check the home screen. Okay, we need another needle. We've already got a needle in B, but we need a needle in A. So I've got my extra needle, got my screwdriver. we're going to loosen screw A. It's very important that we only loosen it and don't take it out, because the threads on these screws are super tiny. And if you take that screw all the way out, it will be next to impossible to get it back in without cross-threading it. So make sure you only loosen and don't take it all the way out. Now we will slide that needle up into position and tighten it down. There we go. Almost. Okay. Cool. Let's see. Stitch width 6.5. We had used 6.0 on the last one, so I'll just turn this a little bit. Oh, too much. Okay, there we go. We are still using woven fabric. Everything else is set for us. It increased the stitch length to 2.5 for us. It is so nice to have this machine computerized to switch as many things for us as possible. It really cuts down on time and frustration and improves accuracy. Okay, next we are ready to thread. So we're going to switch to threading mode, and we are going to put the thread in the looper. This is the lower looper. Put some thread down in there. I like to pulse it a little bit to pull that in. Okay, I did not pull at least 12 inches out because this is nice and taut, but there's no thread showing here, so I have to pull some more. Oh, no. Ha! I made a boo-boo. I'm going to shine a light and see if you can see what happened, what part I forgot. Can you see down in here? There's a mess. There's a glob of thread. Why is there a glob of thread? Because even though I moved this to threading mode, I did not turn the hand wheel towards me to lock the thread path. So I have to take that out, which fortunately is not a big deal. There we go. Now the thread path is closed. And when I put the thread in, it will make it all the way to the looper. It's amazing how much better things work when you do it the right way. There we go. I'll switch to tweezers. This goes back behind. All right. Now we thread the upper looper. Click that thread into position. I know you can't see this top part here, but I have faith that you can slide thread under a clip. I believe in you. Put this thread into the hole. I'm going to clip a little off. It's kind of curling a little bit. All right. Try again. That's a little better. Not quite enough down in there yet. There, it's starting to pour from me. Beautiful. Thread came out here. Let's pull that to the back, put it under the foot. Now we need to thread the needles. Left needle, right needle. I forgot which one goes first. So we have, and the reason is because this is just a little bit different from the older ones. Fortunately, we have a diagram in the book. Left needle first. See, on my older machine, you do the right needle first. So there's handy directions. We have this part memorized. Left needle. For this stitch, we're going to put the left needle in the middle slot. Left needle thread. There we go. Over the rise, in the middle, and then in the middle here. Thank goodness for tweezers, because my fingers would not fit in there. There we go. Oh, can you see how fuzzy that is? Probably not, but it's fuzzy. It's not that my eyes are getting old, it's that the thread is fuzzy. That's it, right? My camera's blurry? Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. How does that look? Is that better? I wonder if it keeps catching my shoulder as I'm threading. No, needs more focus. It's catching my skin. Okay, that's why. Let's let it sit for 1 second. I will get this thread into position and see if I can keep my hands out as much as possible. It's hard to keep my hands out when I'm threading. All right, let's put this through the first notch, over the hump, through the first loop on the spring, and through the right-turnmost slot on the thread guide. There we go. And wait for a second for the camera to refocus while I attempt to put this in my tweezer. Okay, so my point of focus is here, but now we're switching to here. Put the thread through the eye of the needle. And tuck the tail under the foot. We have the machine threaded. We're going to put the button, the slider, I'm going to zoom out, back in sewing mode. Close the cover, zoom in. Okay, how is the focus at the moment? I will get my fabric and cord prepared. Still a bit blurry. I'm not sure what button to push. I've got zoom in and out. Maybe if I zoom out just a little bit. Let's see if that helps. So I have my cord and my jelly roll strip. I'm going to put the cord in the middle, fold this over. What's the thickest cording I can use? This cording is 3/32. You can use thicker cording, but I'm not sure if it would work with a piping foot. I will find out if there is an actual limit, and I'll put the answer in the comments. It will probably be once the live is over, but I'll find out. Okay. So we've got the cord here. I'm pressing it down a little bit so you can kind of see. And then, so the bulk of the cord is going to go under, where's my pointer? Under here. It's going to show in this window. There we go. And I'm going to push this all the way forward and put the presser foot down. Can you see that? I'm going to try and pull this forward. Nah, that doesn't really help. Okay. So it's fine now. Of course, I wiggled the machine a bit. That's always the answer, right? No. All right. The cutter is going to trim our excess off, and it will leave our piping the exact same width as if it was store-bought. You can't see my hands down here. I'll show you in a second when I get a little further through. So we have the cord tail hanging out the end. I am keeping my fingers back here. I'm doing this closer to the edge where the camera can't see right now, but that keeps this in place. Trim this. There we go. Beautiful piping. I'm going to bring it closer to the camera so you can see the needle went down right next to the cording, so it's nice and tight here. I got a little off here. This must be where I stopped to try and show you. Whoops. That's okay. Because once we sew it into fabric, it will look fine. Let's see, I have some scraps here. So what you do to sew it into your fabric, we've got right side piping, and then right side. It's hard to tell in this fabric. Okay, right sides together, piping in the, I'm doing it in my lap because that's where I can see it, but you need to see it. Right sides together. So we have our sandwich with our piping in it, and we will just serge that. Again, we're going to put the piping under the groove, and here we go. Very easy. Don't need all of that. I made my piping longer than my fabric, as you would, so that you can see it. There we go. You can make so many things. You can do pillowcases or shams or dresses, but you can also put that on the edge of your table runner. That's it for the piping foot at the moment. No, a little more info. The piping foot comes in the Overlock feet kit. Oh, sorry. I went in front of the camera a little bit. The Overlock feet kit contains a piping foot, and there's 5 feet total. Here's a few more. The next one we're going to use is the gathering foot. If you like visibility, the cover stitch feet kit also comes with a piping foot, but it is clear, so you can really see that piping going underneath that foot. Let me see if I can bring that closer. I'm trying, y'all. Okay, you can tell the shiny, and there's a cutout here. It slides nicely through there. Okay, great. The part number for the foot kit is posted in the chat. So if you want to buy the kit so you can use this feet, this one is in the Overlock feet kit. This one is in the cover stitch feet kit. Okay, let me get those out of the way. Next, we are going to do ruffles, gathering. So I am going to put the gathering foot on. I'm going to raise my presser foot, and then I'm going to use the foot release lever to drop that off. I'm going to raise my foot a little more because I like the clearance. Turn it sideways and pull it off. And then the gathering foot, come at it sideways, just like you took the other one off. Turn, pull it into position, put the foot down. Oh, wow, yay, I did it right on that one. First try, gold star. We have to have gold stars for ourselves sometimes, right? Okay. If you are unable to memorize directions for every foot, that is okay. Because, let me zoom out a little bit, because this is going to get blurry otherwise. The feet kit comes with a booklet. It's got a picture of the foot so you know which is which, and then which stitches, which settings to use. And I just realized that is not the gathering foot that I put on there. Hold on. Hold that thought. One moment. There we go. This is up. There is like a slot here. So there's the top of the foot, and then there's a piece on the bottom. We are going to put our fabric underneath both of those. But if you put fabric underneath, it gathers that, and then fabric on top, it doesn't gather that. So you can make your ruffles and attach it to your project at the same time, which is pretty cool. All right. This one is a little bit harder to get on because of that extra little piece on the bottom, but just wiggle it into place. You'll be fine. Oh, too far. Overshot. Try it again. Let's get this raised way up. Okay, I'm going to stop looking at the camera for a minute. Let's see if I can get this into place. There we go. There we go. And drop it down the rest of the way. Beautiful. Okay, let's make some ruffles. Double check 4-thread overlock. And for this, we need to change our differential feed, which was this here. Right now, it's set for 1.0. We are going to increase the differential to 2.0. That is as high as it will go. Now, I'm going to put my fabric under the foot. And as we stitch, it will kind of kick pleat. You'll see in a second. There we go. Let's see if I can go faster. You see how it's gathering up here? So cute. Very satisfying. Ruffle-rific. And then we can attach it to, let's see. How cute would that look? I'm going to put it on my lap for a minute so I can get it into place. But how cute would it look to have the piping with the ruffle? Like really cute, right? I wonder, let me see if I can stitch this on. Put this next to, I think I would have had to do it in one pass. I think that I need to put the regular foot back on if I want to do it now. I should have done it in one pass because that would have been easier. Here is the all right. Just stitch it on. Again, right sides together. Raise my ankle here. And away we go. There we go. We make a little skirt, table runner, bed runner, bed skirt, anything with ruffles. You can do tulle here to make big floofy dresses for you and or anyone who would like to wear a floofy dress. Okay, we have a few minutes left, so I am going to show you. We don't have enough time to demonstrate all the other feet, but I will show you the other feet. In the in the Overlock feet kit, this is the elastic foot. I'm going to try and bring it up here slowly. There we go. The elastic foot. This lets you insert elastic into a seam. So if you want to make something with extra stretch, there's a guide. Oh, I'm holding it upside down. You can put the elastic in here and it guides it. Very, very cool. We already did the piping foot. Taping foot. That is this one. Let's see if I can zoom in here a little bit. There we go, taping foot. That lets you put seam tape in your seam. Much easier. And then blind hem foot. Most of us know how to do a blind hem on our sewing machine, but this lets you do a blind hem on a serger too, which is a blessing. And like I said, the little booklet that comes with it has all the settings you need and directions step by step. Fabulous. Okay, that is the Overlock feet kit. The other one was the cover stitch feet kit. What is the difference? Today, we have been using Overlock stitches, which use stitch table A. The cover stitch feet kit uses cover stitch table B. Here's our B. And all of the cover stitch feet are clear. So we already looked at the piping foot. I'll set that aside. There is also a lace trim foot. That is, okay, that's this foot here. It's clear, so I have to like bring it way up. This, there we go. You can see the opening here. You put your fabric and it folds it over, and then you put your lace, and this stitches lace or whatever trim to the hem of your garment on the top. The join and fold edging foot looks very similar in that, okay, I'm going to work on my angle here. Okay, this one's easy to see. This is the one we already talked about. This is the join and fold edging foot. So you put your fabric in here and it folds it, and then you put your trim in here and it works it into the seam. Kind of like a rolled hem, but attaching trim at the same time. Very professional looking. And then we have the strap and belt loop foot. This is a wild looking guy. It attaches this way, and we have an opening here that's 1 inch. So you cut your strip into 1 inch and then cut like a triangle at the end so that you can thread it down through here, and it folds your fabric over kind of like bias tape, and then it folds it again. And let me show you the picture because that works way more than, okay, so we've got our 1 inch strip going in here, and then it's folding it and folding it again and doing a 2 needle cover stitch on it, and what comes out the back is your belt loops. Of course, it can do a lot more than just belt loops. You can make straps for your dress or for your shirt. I've seen some really cute shirts lately that have like crisscross straps across the front, and you could use this to make those straps. And then the last foot included in this kit is the clear cover stitch foot. This foot is a lot like the foot that comes on your machine, but it's clear. So if you like extra visibility, this is very handy. Come way in, come way in. Easy. Okay. So all those clear feet, again, are part of the cover stitch feet kit. Does anyone have any questions about any of the feet or anything at all we've done today? Somebody asked about the needles. I am using Husqvarna Viking brand Overlock needles, size 90. You can get them at your dealer, or your store, whichever one. Some folks buy it in a big pack. I do a lot of serging. I love serging, so I get a box of 100 needles, but most of the time you get them in a 5-pack. Any other questions? Well, Amy, I think that I'm ready to wrap it up in that case. So we will talk about the last Facebook Live and the upcoming Facebook Lives. The last Facebook Live was a MySewnet Facebook Live. If you use the, what's it called? The software, the MySewnet software, Kathy did a Facebook Live about cross-stitching. She's making a project for Mother's Day. It's a 2-part. I should switch so you can see my face again. Hi. Oh, this hand. It's a 2-part series. She did part 1 last week. She'll do part 1 today. No, May 8th. Part 2 is on May 8th. It's Wednesday, May 8th at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. And Kathy will do the cross-stitch lesson. You can watch the first one online to get caught up if you want. She makes it really easy. It's beautiful to do cross-stitch in the hoop on your embroidery machine. She makes it so easy. She shows you how to do the full crosses and the little half crosses and French knots. It's so cool what our software can do. And the next Husqvarna Viking Live is next Wednesday, May 1st. No, that's in 2 weeks, isn't it? May 1st at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. That will be with Karen Charles. Yay, Karen. She is going to show us how to use the hat hoop accessory with the metal hoops and the additional fabric guides that go with the metal hoops. So if you have trouble embroidering on t-shirts, the fabric guides are amazing. You use the magnets with the metal hoops and it will hold your shirt open. Karen will show you all about it. It will be great. I hope you guys have a great day. Happy stitching.